Hello, welcome to the Motorbirds Live number 5. Today we change a little bit the background. We are in our garage with some guests, a lot of guests today. We hope you will join us for the next session. Let us know if you can hear us. Let us know if you see us. Who is it there? Hello, hello. We are waiting for you. Today we will talk about packing tips and tricks. It's super useful for all travelers, and we have for you a few surprises. So stay with us until the very end, because the surprise will come along the way. It will not be at the beginning. So we hope you will stay until the end. And we decided that today's session. Hello, Agata. How are you? We decided that today's session will not be run by me. I will just assist, because we have a specialist about packing and tips and tricks, and the person who knows best how to pack to travel light. So before we start, please we would like to remind you that you can subscribe to our newsletter and to our YouTube channel to be updated with all the news, all the lives, and also with the surprises, small gifts which we have. So don't forget to subscribe. We will put link in the comment later on how you can do it. And for today, well, let's begin. So as I said, I give the floor to our guest, Guy, who is in Switzerland. We are here in Poland. And he will tell you everything how to pack well, about tips and tricks. Yeah, I can move, Agata, it's fine. The tips and tricks how to pack, and I will show you some of the things he and we use on the trips and which are super useful. So stay with us, and Guy, please start. Hello.
Okay, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. So we'll get to talk a little bit about what goes into the bags, so that everybody can have a chance maybe to learn a thing or two about what I've learned, what we've learned on the road over the years for different trips and so on, and see where to take it from. Now, I know it probably is going to sound a little bit alien to many. But the first thing I use is this.
This is very women thing. I didn't even expect you have such a thing at home.
Well, it's damn useful, and we'll see why. So Agata, if you can change the screen to put this first picture.
Yeah, we have the first picture on.
Okay, very good.
Or we will.
So the key here to remember, I think, and I learned it from painful experience, is that if you have to pick your bike and you're alone and you're somewhere in a place where you have nobody to help you pick that thing up, you'll be really sorry, and you will hate yourself every single minute. Each time you drop the bike, or you have to get that stuff on or off the bike every single day. So a big item really is to keep the weight down, while keeping, I guess, as much as possible, a minimum of comfort and, of course, safety. So the main rule is light is safe. The things as light and compact as possible is really what we're talking about here. Hence the scale.
Okay, how detailed you are with the scale? Swiss detailed or not that much?
Well, it doesn't come down to a kilo, but very often kilos add up very quickly. I remember on my first trip to South America, I met some Germans which were traveling with GSs, and they had 47 or 50 kilos on the bike.
It is not that much, some people would say.
Well, I think the key here is to try to keep the weight of the luggage without the packing system, without the cases and the bags and so on, somewhere at least below 20 kilos. What I have when I travel is somewhere around 18 kilograms. This does not include spare fuel or water, but
we have friends here with us today in the garage, so it's really natural session. Go.
So I think around 16 to 18 kilogram is a good number to aim for, and this includes camping gear.
Okay, it's very little. Okay, so tell us what is included in this 16 kilograms, because it sounds like magic that you can basically take everything that you need and keep it within 16 to 18 kilograms weight.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think the main factor here is what I discovered over the years is that whenever I was coming back home after a bike trip, I had a bunch of stuff that I didn't use, but yet they travel with me for hundreds or thousands of kilometers, and I never used them. And clothing was, of course, an obvious one, because I always carried too much stuff. So on this, I mean, of course, there's probably as many opinions as bikers out there as to what the best luggage system is. I don't know, Agata, if you can put the next
Agatka, if
slide.
you can put the next slide on, please. Yeah, there is different luggage systems here. It's my bike.
Okay.
Thank you for using a picture of my bike. The best packed one.
So there's of course there's many options here. The three main ones: soft bags, hard cases, and the so-called banana bags. So we're absolutely not going to go into detail as what the benefits and drawbacks of each system is. The key here is we're going to talk about really what goes into those things and what hopefully you will find makes a difference on your trip, and to make sure that essentially you have a safe, enjoyable trip, but without without going out there without anything to either fix the bike or fix yourself if something happens. Okay, next one.
Okay, we go to the next picture. Okay, so this is basically your clothes on the bike in the desert. So what is it?
Yeah.
Why you do it? How you dry it? And what is all about?
Well, I mentioned clothes because this was one of the things which really bothered me, that I noticed that I always had too much stuff. So I'm sure there's other opinions out there, but to me the best way is to really take the bare minimum, and by really bare minimum I mean bare minimum along, and take a small bottle of washing liquid and then wash the clothes regularly so you don't end up smelling like a goat or something after a couple of days. So by bare minimum I mean 2 t-shirts, like one long sleeve shirt against the sun or bugs and so on, 1 pair of trousers, these bush trousers that these Soviet trousers where you can do the legs and they can serve as shorts and pants. Even for the shoes, I try to take the lightest possible ones I can find. Sometimes I only go with sandals if it's not going to be too cold. And then, of course, there are some things it's probably not a good idea to do without. Like I have a very famous, beautiful hat.
Oh, Jesus. The one I hate. How do you like the guy's head? It's like absolutely horrible in my opinion on one hand. But on the other hand, well, it's pretty useful. We saw it in many places, like in the Altiplano or desert, and where the sun is really like super strong. And although it looks really, funny for me, it's super useful, I must admit. So the hat is a must, no?
For me, yes, absolutely. So never travel without it, and the good thing is that it's super light. You keep it where it's accessible, like in your backpack or on top of your luggage. You can fold it, doesn't take any space, it weighs nothing, and it's super useful. Also, one thing which is very important is to take a small kit, a small sewing kit, so that if you have a rip somewhere, you can actually repair it while you're on the road.
And well,
So,
only if you know how to sew, or you take a girlfriend with you or someone. Do you
well,
know?
otherwise, Google is your friend.
Google, yeah, in a desert in Altiplano, especially without internet. But okay, the kit. And I saw, the picture of me with the buff. Buff is like for me a must, no? You see, I have it here.
Yeah, the have really nice, actually, motorbirds buffs. I guess they can be any color, any brand. I like the red ones personally, but these are super useful for anything from even sun protection to protecting your neck against bugs when you're riding, against the cold. If it's cold, you can keep it on your head and so on. So always go out with these things. Makes a big difference. I take two, and like the other ones wash it. And okay, those ladies and gentlemen which go with motorbirds, of course, I understand they get a buff thrown in, right, Ola?
Yeah. Well, the buffs are a must. We have a question here, guy. Just wait a second. Steve is with us. Steph, hi. So a question is, I prefer hard panniers because it gives me a bit of mental security when I leave the bike to go for a walk and look at things. I travel alone, so the bike could be left somewhere while I wander around a historical site, etc. I know it's not really any more secure, but it just makes me feel better. Do you have any thoughts about it? Because I remember you traveled at the beginning with metal panniers as well, and then you switched to the soft ones, so you know very well what is the difference and what is the feeling. So if you could give us some comments and how you deal with it, actually, because it's a good point.
Yeah, this was one of my concerns as well when initially I was traveling with the hard boxes. It gave me a sense of security that hopefully people cannot get into the bike or into the stuff and take my things out and then leave me in trouble in the middle of nowhere having to find and buy new stuff. However, what I found out is that, okay, there's a couple of instances where you will leave the bike alone. One is when you're sleeping in a hotel or a guest house, and the other one is gentleman who has a question mentioned is when you go out for a walk in the city and so on. So for these instances where I would leave the bike alone in the city, the best bet is to park the bike, say, in front of a restaurant, in front of a place which is frequented, or in front of a hotel where you see a guard, and ask if you see somebody there, if they don't mind keeping an eye on your stuff. And personally, I never had a problem. For guest houses and hotels, of course, there I always try to pick a place which has a location where I can park the bike inside, in the courtyard or something like this, or roll the bike inside the hotel even, and don't have avoid basically creating the opportunity for people to steal your stuff at night. But paradoxically, I think it's safer to leave the bike in a very crowded place where people will actually have a look at it. And being a tourist, I think in most places it's actually not a problem.
Okay, good point. Okay, so let's go back to your list of things, because I think you prepared us a small gift today, no? So tell us how you start your packing.
Yeah, exactly. So what I have for you guys today is a very nice checklist that I use for the for packing what to take on the trip. So this will be made available in the link which will be provided by Agata in the comments list. So by all means, don't hesitate to click. I will send you a copy.
Yes.
I'm sure it will not be everything to everybody, but I really hope that it will give you a good legs up as you plan your next trip.
Yeah, so, I think this. Sorry to interrupt, but I really think, guys, this checklist is super useful. Of course, it's not that it's everything you can think of, but it makes our lives easier. Because imagine when we started to travel before the list, at the beginning we didn't have the checklist. So you go around the house, you grab the things and one by one, and you think that, oh yes, this is really what I will need. This is really what I will need. It will be hot, it will be cold, it will be windy, I don't know what. So you grab a lot of clothes, and then it's like tools and spare parts and camping gear and everything, and you end up with a pile of things on the floor, which of course can fit into the bike, but then the bike weighs like a ton, and it's really problematic. So along the years we learned how to basically get rid of this problem, and we have this list, and of course Guy, being Swiss, could not act otherwise than just cutting the list. So the list was longer at the beginning, but now it's pretty short. But I must admit that he was right. Basically, you don't need that many things. So please don't hesitate to use our list. This is already in the comment. It's in either English language version, and we'll provide it to you also in the Polish language version. So you can see, well, both of them, depending if you're English speaker or Polish language speaker. So grab the list, use it, and really be honest with yourself. If you say to yourself that you need more things that are listed on the checklist, you are wrong. You are basically trying to, you know, maybe lie to yourself, or it's not true. So have a look on the list, and if you have any thoughts what we should get rid of more, or maybe what you would add, also let us know. We hope it will help you to travel light in the future. So the lists are there. Guy, you can move on with the packing.
Okay, so on the next slide.
Yeah, we go to the next one. It says, yeah, mattresses in the middle of nowhere, and some. Where is it actually? It's crazy place to sleep.
Yeah, this is somewhere between Chile and Argentina in the north.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. The thing here is about the what you need to sleep and to eat. Well, obviously, tent. We're not going to go into discussion what the best tent is and so on. What I like is tent with two.
If Agata give me a view, look, we're not going to details, but this is Guy's tent. It's just back from Chile, so it's not big and it fits very well to the panniers of bike. Yeah, I have your tent waiting for you.
Okay, so what to look for with a tent is something which doesn't weigh more than 1 kilo. And a great weighting tip is the nails that you put in the ground, which are titanium nails, and this will cut the weight of your entire chunk. They're expensive, but really good quality. You can find it in camping shops, and for me, they're really good. They can even I tried it. They said they would go into asphalt. I tried it, and they do go into asphalt. So it doesn't have to be flimsy. So this is good. Then in terms of sleeping bag, again, you know, whatever's comfortable. For a mattress, I think inflatable is the best. But maybe somebody else has some other habits or practices, as long as it's light and doesn't take up space.
There's one thing which was on this picture, which is kind of, I think, questionable. This thing, it's Helinox, it's the chair. You use this small chair always, no? You take it with you. I know it sounds sometimes funny when you talk to the travelers and say, okay, I am a biker and I take a chair with me, and people look like, what is this? Are you this comfortable luxury guy, or why you actually need a chair? And it weighs and it occupies space, so you think it's really a must?
Yeah, I really do think so. I used to travel without a chair when I was traveling with hard boxes, these metal boxes. I take the box out and sit on it and so on, but it's really uncomfortable. It's not convenient. One of these chairs, I mean, the one I have is Helinox, but you can find Chinese knockoffs on the internet, which basically are the same. It's super small and it's incredibly comfortable. So I would never go away without it, because after spending 10 hours in the saddle, I really enjoy enjoy sitting in having to live on the ground.
Yeah.
So this is something I'll not do without.
So chair is a must. Okay, super. Okay.
For me, yes, maybe some different opinion, of course. Then, in terms of the cooking, I don't know if you have there these funny cooking pots.
Yeah, I have the cooking pots here, so go ahead. This is the cooking pots guy uses on the trips. Yeah, it's here. You see, it's pretty small when you pack it, and then you can unfold it, and it gets bigger like this. So it can be a pot, it can be a plate, it can be everything, and it's easy to wash, and well, it's very light and it's very small. So yeah, we recommend it definitely.
I don't take plates. I just have one mug which has a foldable handle, so it's easier to pack.
Yeah, it's here.
Swiss knife, a lot of Ziploc bags because they're good for keeping stuff waterproof or food in them and so on.
Look who is here.
Rubbish bags because they're for packing clothes, garbage, food anyway. So rubbish bags is a good thing. A couple of lighters, and then for food. What I take is a few power bars in case of emergency and 2 rations of this expedition food or camping food, which you can find in these specialized shops, just in case of emergency. If you have a breakdown, you get stuck in the middle of nowhere, you need to eat.
Okay, so the special ratios,
the
special ratios, you buy them up front, no? You don't wait to buy them wherever you go. You buy them here before going to the trip, and you keep it for the emergency situation.
Yes, same with of course, same like with like before you go on a longer journey, always take water with you so that you can stay for at least 2 or 3 days, like 4 liters of water, so that if something happens with the bike, you have at least 2 days of water in front of you, so that you can find a solution for yourself.
Okay, so now we have to hold on for a second because we have another question. Hi Aleksandra, cześć. I think I can say cześć in Polish. So Aleksandra is asking, can you tell where you buy the plate? So this is the plate. The one we use is C2 Summit, but you can find, I guess, other brands as well. We don't make an advert of any brand here. You can buy it in basically all these travel shops, trekking shops. It doesn't have to be specialized shop for bikes. It's for all kind of travelers, and a lot of people use it. The people who go for trekking or other kind of trips. So any bigger shop with traveling kit, you will find it, or you can order it in the internet. I hope this is useful, but you can look for C2 Summit in the first place. Okay, we can move on.
Don't forget Swiss knife.
Swiss knife.
Good for opening a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Or cutting. Has scissors for your nails.
Okay, I don't have here the Swiss knife. I think it's with you, but everybody knows how the Swiss knife looks, and really, Swiss knife is a must. We know it. Yeah, so don't forget it with you. And I have something here as well. This is our dogs again. We have a lot of guests today. Look, Alexandra, these are the spoon and the fork guy, and not only, but it's from his luggage uses on the way. So here you have fork and spoon in one. So very little space and very light. And if you add to this the Swiss knife, which is like very sharp, then you have everything basically. Okay, we go ahead.
Okay, so then I think this closes the topic for sleeping, cooking, and eating. So I'll move on to the some other things which are really good to have. Is always take a couple of pens with you, notepad if you need to write something down. And then I would really recommend, before you go on trip, to download the operators and maintenance manual for your motorcycle, as well as the list of the fluids, coolant, oils, and so that you need for your bike, so that if and when you need to buy these things, you know what specifications to look for. So no need to take the book, but just download it from the internet and save it on your phone or whatever device you use. So I think this is really, really useful.
Yeah, and I think, sorry to interrupt you here, but yeah, as we live in 21st century and all the technology is our friend, and it's really, really useful to have all this information Guy just mentioned in your phone, and then to have the power bank in case your battery goes down, because there will be no time and no option to check your bike manual or to check what you need in case of a break. You have to know it up front, so you have to have this information. And what is also useful, and we actually can help you with this, is to have a list of service places, service points within the area you go, because sometimes it will be impossible to fix your bike yourself. So you have to know where is the closest point you can actually go and fix it. So don't forget about it. We can help you with this. I am not sure if it's included in the packing checklist, which you can download from the comments below this chat. It's our checklist, but yeah, don't forget to download it. And if the service stations, I think it's included, are not there, you can add it. Guy, if I may interrupt. Because I'm super curious about this. I have this giant loop bag which was attached to your bike. I hope everybody sees it. Can you tell us a few words about this? It looks like a bag, but I think it's a super tough material. And yeah, what do you use it for?
This is a long story. I think the main thing which was restricting me in making the kind of tours I was wanting to make was the autonomy of the bike. So on the bike I was using last time, I had like 600 kilometer autonomy, but in some of these places really it was too tight for this kind of distances without having a safety factor. So of course I travel like I guess most people. I put fuel into Coca-Cola bottles and I don't know what other containers, and it was cumbersome, it was heavy, it was taking a lot of space. So I did a lot of research, and finally I found this giant loop fuel bag. It's made in the US. It costs stupid money, but it's absolutely amazing. It takes 8 liters of fuel. When you don't need it, you fold it. It weighs next to nothing. It has a lot of points to wherever you want on the bag, on the bike. And it's really, it doesn't leak and it doesn't smell. So I would say for those of you that look for a bit more adventurous option and are going to be far from petrol station, I'm not advertising Giant Loop. There's some other brands in Australia which are also available. But I think this, in terms of value for money, I found it absolutely first class. Okay. So
yeah, this is always a problem for people, for bikers going off the beaten track, that there is this fuel issue, and it's always the more off-road you go, the more difficult it is to tight these canisters and bottles and so on. So this thing, we use it in South America in a very remote areas, and believe me, the biggest advantage is that you can attach it easily. And it doesn't leak, and it doesn't move, and it's actually very good invention. I didn't use it before. It's thanks to Guy. He found it, and I would really recommend it if you go somewhere off the beaten track.
So, and then I will say a few words maybe about some other tips about tooling. So I don't know, Agata, if you have the next pictures for the screen.
Agata, please put the next picture. What we would do without Agata? Okay, we have 1 second chain oiler.
Yeah. Okay, this is a good thing. The problem, okay, you have two types of transmissions, the drive shaft, which is like on the GSs and so on, and some Yamahas, which of course don't need this, but most other bikes, or all the other bikes, come with a chain, and then you're stuck with having to carry a can of chain lube with you, which is an absolute pain in the backside. So in there, what I put is I put engine oil. Engine oil is actually the best lubricant for chain, and it fits on the bike. You lube the chain as often as you want, and it is very light and great. So no cans of chain lube along, and I use this. It's available in Holland. You buy it on the internet. It takes about half an hour to install, and I think it's super.
I think you have also other options to use the other lubricants. I don't know the names now, but yeah, it's kind of useful. I mean, I know there is people that are against it, but I think it's really useful unless you really take care of your bike manually and every day. But you have to remember about it. Okay, so what else do you have for us? Now we have repair extreme, some glue, I guess. Patex.
Yeah, this is something which is really useful. It's like a welding compound. So if ever you break some plastic part on your bike and so on, you can actually repair it in the field. So anything made of plastic, metal, so on, this will do the trick. This is good as well if you have like happen to always get loose and you don't want for them to get loose, and you're not going to use a thread Loctite. Yeah, this is very good. It's equivalent to the if I remember what Loctite. So this is great. The next one.
Okay, and the next surprise. What do we have here? Sugru. It's another glue, no?
Yeah, this is. I don't know who invented this thing, but it comes in small packs like this. It's like a chewing gum inside. You mix it to what you want. It comes in different colors, and it hardens and holds things in place. With this, I repaired motorcycle pants. I repaired soles on my boots when I was on the way, and many other things.
So it really works.
So this is super light, very useful. Many things, yes. This is. I tried it. I use it. I never go without it.
Okay, and I think another one is another glue. No, what is it? Yeah, it's Jesus. This is German. Schweißnacht. Am I correct?
This is really a liquid weld. It's not like liquid metal, but it's a liquid weld. It has two compounds, and you spray the first compound on the part you want to repair, then put this liquid on top, and it comes back, I think, stronger than it was when it was before it broke down.
Okay.
So this is really good.
So it looks like instead of cosmetics, you take like bunch of glues of different types. So it's really what you have to have. And if you are a girl, you have to take all these glues as well. It's like, come on.
I think it's a good idea to have it if you travel alone. Otherwise, have somebody carry it for you.
This is the better option, I guess. You can divide like this. Okay. Yes. So anything else apart of the glues?
Yes, I would like just to have just a quick comment about tires and tire levers.
Yeah.
Because
we have a picture with you with the working on the tires on my bike actually, which is very nice. Thank you for this. Yeah. You see how good it is to actually go too, because I didn't have to fix the tire myself. Thank you.
So what I would say is you need, from experience again, because I struggle a lot, is to have 3 levers, one long one and 2 short ones, and the long one should have a shape like this so that you can actually break the bead.
Okay. So
this is very useful.
Yeah.
And in terms of tools, also always carry a small tire pressure gauge, the mechanical one, not something that comes with batteries, because the batteries will fail.
Okay, mechanical stuff. Yeah, it's always better. The less electronic, the better. This is true.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have here a picture with your bike actually, with metal panniers then, so it's long time ago, which is without the rear tire, which means you are fixing the tire. And I guess you have invented something useful for changing the tires and fixing them when you don't have anything actually to to put your bike on? Sorry, because my legs are not that interesting.
Yeah, this is a big thing, because say like this was the third time I fixed a tire on that day, and you have to take, if you have a metal box, you take the metal box, the second one off, lift the bike, put the bike on the metal box, and do the tire, blah blah blah. So what I came up with is I found somewhere in the blog on the US website of a guy that had come up with this idea. So I copied it and I had it made. And it's a portable side stand which allows you to lift your bike and use it either to lube the chain if you lube with this grease can, or to repair the tire if you need to. So you can use it for the front wheel or for the back one, and it works great. Okay. So this is what all I have in our hand.
Yeah, I have it here, and it's enough to hold even the heavy bike, because you had 690 then, so it's not that heavy. But if you have something heavier, is it okay?
Yeah, it's stainless steel.
It's stainless steel. Okay, and actually it's not very heavy. I mean, and you can put it in anywhere, like in a soft bags or this aluminium panniers or anywhere. And I think it's quite useful, especially if you go to the places where you cannot find any stone or anything to help you to change the tire, because there are places like this where it's just literally nothing. So this is something to think about when you pack for a trip, if you go either yourself or to the remote places. Good one. Okay, what else?
Yeah, if you want to have some close-up pictures, send us comments so that we can send that over to you, and we'll take it from there. It's telescopic. It adjusts to, I think, any bikes, and it's it's really cool.
Okay, so any other surprises you have for us?
Yeah, I have two small things I want to show you, which you should also take. One is this big tape.
MacGyver.
Maybe you don't need a full roll, but this is super important. And then insulating tape for electrical wires holding stuff together. Fits in the pocket, and it's really useful. Yeah. So don't leave without it.
Yeah,
don't regret it.
Power tape is a must. Everybody knows it. I fix a lot of things with power tape. And the other thing, which is what? Zip ties, I guess, no? The power tape and zip ties are your best friends. And you prepared for us this funny picture with the skeleton. What is it? What this thing is? What is it? Why it's here?
Yeah, this is just wanted to close off whatever I wanted to share with you today, in hoping that we all have safe trips, and I'm quite sure that if we do a good job of packing all we need, we won't end up like this poor fellow that was somewhere on the Altiplano between Argentina and Chile. I'm sure he didn't enjoy the packing tips of Motorbirds. So. Now you have everything you need not to end up like this. Okay, so thank you, Guy, very much, and thank you for your time. Well, Guy is in Switzerland now, and his bike is here behind me. The bike came back from Chile, but, well, because of the pandemic, it's still waiting for the next trip. Thank you for sharing with us your thoughts, and it was very useful, and I'm sure it will help many of us to pack and to travel light. So don't forget to download our checklist, which you can do from the comments which are below in this chat. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter and YouTube channel, where you can see more movies, how we use these things, and why it's really useful, that it's not just a theory, but we use it on our trips. So we will be happy that you share your thoughts with us. If you have any more specific questions about kit for the trip, please let us know in the comment, and we will answer. And from this position, I would like to invite you for the next live. Next week the live will be in Polish, so for English speakers, sorry, but it will, you can of course learn Polish, but it's quite hard. For the Polish people, let's join us next week. It will be all in Polish.
And yeah, we'll continue with our lives on weekly basis. So hopefully see you again. And we would like to say bye to you from this point. Bye. See you next week.